Hey guys, welcome back to Purely Walking. It's me, Elie again, and today's video I am super excited about because we are going to give a rundown all about the Dominican stock market. So a few weeks ago on a live that I did, I briefly mentioned that as a profession I am an economist, so I know a little thing or two about the stock market down here in the DR. And someone asked about it, so here's the video on it. And I hope this information is useful to a lot of you that may be just wondering if there's even a stock market here, how is it composed, how do you even go about investing over here. So all that I'm going to answer in today's video. And also I'm going to be giving you information on how you can diversify your portfolio by investing not only here in the Dominican stock market, but in the New York stock market if that's what you'd like. You can do so by living here in the Dominican Republic, and that is no issue at all. Before we begin, let's give a shout out to today's sponsor of the video, and that is me, of course. If you guys want to support my channel, the best and easiest way you can do so is by subscribing. And if you guys appreciate my work enough that you might want to donate any amount you'd like to my channel, you can go ahead and hit that super thanks button down below as well. So thank you in advance for that. So how is the Dominican stock market organized? First of all, the Dominican stock market is very well regulated here in the country. We have a superintendent of securities that was created back in the year 2000. So it has more than 25 years running at this point, and it has the task of supervising and regulating the entire market. This means that the superintendents make sure that everything that's going on in the market goes off without a hitch. They also make policies on the stock market that must be adhered to. Through the webpage of the superintendents of securities, you not only get information on the institutions that actually issue securities, but also you get information on the stockbrokers that you may need to actually invest. And also they even give out some workshops and really good information on what the stock market is, basically investing 101. There are courses in there that are really cool. So if you speak Spanish, this would be a great information for you to have if you just want to learn about the stock market and how to begin in the first place. Now, the way you can actually get into the stock market in the Dominican Republic is only through stock brokers. Those are like the intermediate people, the institutions that are authorized to make operations on your behalf. So if you want to invest at all in the stock market here in the DR, you would have to go through a broker. You can't just go to the central bank and ask to buy a portion of their bonds or anything like that. You'd have to do that through a stockbroker. The superintendency's page gives you all the stockbrokers that are available and are authorized to make operations here in the Dominican Republic, and you can choose one at your liking. You can go ahead and call them up and sign your documents, open an account with them, and they offer you all the information and all the options they have available for you depending on your investment goals. Right now, there are just under 20 stockbrokers that are authorized. I believe the number is like 17 or 18. A lot of them are independent stockbrokers that just dedicate themselves to that. And others are actually derivatives of popular banks here. For example, BH de Leon has its own stockbroker branch, and also Banreservas has its own stockbroker branch as well. Also in the Dominican Republic, we have a custodial agent, which is called Cebaldom. Cebaldom is the institution that actually registers and liquidates all your transactions as an investor. So let's say you go to 3 stockbrokers and you invest 10,000 pesos in each one. Well, for each one of those stockbrokers, you only have 10,000 pesos. But for Cebaldom, you have a total of 30,000 pesos. When you go to your stockbroker and open an account with that stockbroker, they automatically also make you sign double paperwork to file your account with Cebaldom. So you don't have to worry about opening a separate account with that Cebaldom agency. They do that for you at the stockbrokers. Over here, we have different entities that issue securities, but the most popular entities are Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance. Actually, 95% of the operations in the Dominican stock market are actually on securities that are provided through the central bank and the Ministry of Finance. Just for reference, the Dominican stock market has just under 50 companies that are issuers of securities, as opposed to the more than 3,000 companies that are in the New York Stock Exchange, for example. Those type of instruments that come from central bank and Ministry of Finance are highly low risk. Other instruments that you can also see in our Dominican stock market are investment funds and trust funds. The investment funds and the trust funds that you can find in our stock market have, for the most part, variable income rates, but the instruments that are derived from the central bank and the Ministry of Finance most likely have a fixed rate. Your stockbroker can likely answer any questions you may have regarding the options that they can give you, and there are instruments that you can invest for 30 days, 60 days, 180 days. So in order to invest here, you don't need to take a long time. Like, you don't need to be investing for 10, 20 years. You can actually invest for as small a time as you need to, depending on your investment goals. So you have all those options available to you. Just reach out to your stockbroker and ask all the questions. This video has no intent of giving you financial advice, just simple information on how things work here in the DR. But if it were me, I would never place my savings in an average savings account in a normal bank, because the interest rate of those accounts is almost non-existent. I would place my money in one of the instruments that I mentioned before, one of the bonds of the central bank, the Ministry of Finance, or an investment fund that diversifies your portfolio of investments in itself. Another thing that I almost forgot to touch upon is how much money you need to enter our stock market. Let me tell you that there are investment opportunities here for as low as 1,000 pesos. So you don't need to be rich whatsoever to start investing your money or saving in a wiser way than just your average savings account at a normal bank, which gives you nothing in return. And in case you were wondering, the answer is yes. You can invest in US dollars as well. There are different options on investing in dollars. You just have to go to your stockbroker and ask them what the options are and what the minimum of deposit is for those investments. So do I think our Dominican stock market is safe to invest in? I definitely do think so. There is an entire institution dedicated to supervising the whole thing. There's also a custodial agency that makes sure that all of your assets are correctly liquidated, and also all your investments are done through authorized and regularized stockbrokers, so that you are sure to be working with highly trained professionals that can orient you and give you advice according to your goals. One of the best things that I find on investing here in the Dominican Republic is the fact that when you go sign up with a stockbroker, they assign you an agent that contacts you directly. You can sit down in their office and they can answer all the questions you may have. They give you options on investing of what they have available, of course, according to your needs. And this person actually can call you up directly when your investment is up, so you can be invested if you want to. So you get that human contact, that one-on-one service, and for me that is very, very valuable. As opposed to when I signed up in the New York Stock Exchange, I just went to an international broker, I signed up the paperwork online, I had no one to talk to, everything was on the internet through their webpage. So everything was very impersonal, and when you go up to like buy your stocks or your options or your ETFs, you would have to really know what you're doing, because there's no one there to guide you or to answer any questions that you may have regarding that. So if you have any questions regarding investing in the stock market in Dominican Republic or in the United States, just comment down below and I'll be happy to answer to the best of my ability, because that's what I personally have been doing. But I want to take a moment to shout out the true experts on all of this, and this is the team at Abacus. They are a team of pros that are teaching Latin Americans how to invest and how to trade and how the stock market works and all of that. This is not a sponsorship. They haven't reached out to me. I haven't reached out to them at all. But I did take one of their courses and I follow up on all the good information they have on their YouTube channel. And if you're interested in all of this investing or trading, or just want to know about the stock market in general, go ahead and check out their content because it is very well worth it. I also want to shout out the girls at Economics Data. They are two young women that are also economists, and they're teaching people about personal finance and how to invest their money instead of just saving in an average savings account. They are more geared towards the Dominican stock market, but also they teach about investing abroad, while the guys at Abacus only focus on investing abroad, like in the New York Stock Exchange. Obviously, our stock market is not as developed or as complex as the one in New York, for example, but it is a very well established and growing market. So in my opinion, you don't have to be afraid of investing here, especially if you go through one of the instruments that have lowest risk, which are the ones from the central bank and the Ministry of Finance. You may be asking yourself, hey, what if I live in the Dominican Republic, but I also want to invest abroad? You can also do that. What you do is basically reach out to one of the stockbrokers in the States. For example, there is Interactive Brokers, TradeStation, and a lot of other ones. And if you have your money in a Dominican account, they're going to ask you to go ahead and wire the money, and that may have a cost depending on your bank. When the money is up in the stockbroker's account, you can go ahead and invest in NASDAQ, the options, the futures, all the shebang, and have investments in the American stock market while living here in beautiful Dominican Republic. Alright guys, I think that's all the info I have for today. Go ahead and comment below any other questions you may have regarding this. Hit that like button if you like these type of videos. Don't forget to subscribe before leaving here, and I'll see you in my next week's video. Bye guys!